Hey folks, it's a big day for us on the homestead. It's one of those days you kind of wait for at the end of the season, right before the new year. We have weaned our calves since September 20th, 15th. I don't remember exactly the date, but it was in September. They're doing good. We've got our trailer hooked up. We are ready to go up the coulee to load our calves, get a trailer load. Hopefully we can get around 20 on there and be able to take them to the big city. Yes, we're headed to the big city, which is a big deal for us. It'll be Tractor Supply for chicken feed and probably breakfast once we get there. But it's just one of those days that has to be done, and right now the roads are good, and we're going to get those calves hauled into the market. Hopefully we do good with them. This weekend our cattle go, the cows. We've decided to sell our big cows. So just cutting back, making things easier for us older folk on the homestead. Just a little snack. We have our thermoses full, our cups of coffee, and we're enjoying a bite of fruit cake for the road. Well, folks, we made it back from the big city, hauling our calves into the sales, livestock sale, and our house was cool. So I had to get this fire going. Cowboy's still outside, and our house was cool. When you have wood heat for your main heat in your house and you're gone for a day, and your wood stove goes out, like this one does. It doesn't hold a lot of big chunks of wood, so it doesn't last. It doesn't take much and your house is cooled off, but it's going now again. It's going to be cozy in here, and it's time to grab a cup of hot water for some tea and just kick back and recoup. Hey folks, Cowboy and I made it back from the city. We're all done hauling one load of calves to market today. We went to the big city and hauled 17 calves. That's all that we really wanted to put on the trailer so it wouldn't be too tight for them for the trip down. And we got those unloaded. We still have 5, I believe, calves left, a couple bulls too. And so what we did today is on a very small scale of what Cowboy and I have done all of our lives. All of our lives. We have done, we've been cattle ranchers all of our lives. We have raised a lot of beef to feed the country. We've spent a lot of nights out in the cold calving, packing in cold, wet calves, putting them in your tub to try to revive them in some lukewarm water with their heads up and rubbing them, or putting them by your hot wood fire and taking a couple of old towels and just really rubbing them and drying them up and getting their circulation going and putting some life back into them. We've had up to 400 cow-calf operation at a time. So what we did today was on a very small scale. Normally we would have semi loads going out to market, and that's been our main income in the past. It's a life we've known all of our lives. It's what we did. Um, and you can't pick the weather that you're going to be calving these calves in. More than likely, a lot of them will calve during a storm. So you've got to be ready for that. You've got to have some shelter. You've got to have some calf sheds. You've got to have some straw. You've got to have a plan how to get those cows into a barn alleyway if they're having trouble in the middle of a storm, and get them into a head catch and help them out. And if they're a first-time mom and they don't know what they're doing, you may need to help the calf suck first time, or a cow will have big tits and you'll have to milk them out so a calf can nurse. And that's just a small portion of a cattle rancher's life. There's putting up the hay all summer long. Lots of long, hot days. Swathing, raking, baling. Then it comes time to hauling the hay in and trying to get it in before the elk will destroy the bales out in the field. Then it's time in the winter. Well, you've got your cleaning your pens out. There's a lot of that, and getting prepped for the winter for them, and getting those bales of hay and straw stacked in for the winter. Then you go into your calving, or the winter time first, of feeding all these round bales that you've worked hard all summer for, putting up. And Cowboy has hayed for years and years, and I've helped him where I could. I will rake. I would help drive the truck, the semi, the pickup to haul the hay in. I would help him feed in the winter time, and I still do. That's just what we do, even with our small scale of cows. It takes teamwork. It takes two of you. And of course, I'm the gate opener. You know, when Cowboy comes in, or your Cowboy even, and I know you ranch women are going to know exactly what I mean. When they come in and say, hey, honey, you want to go for a drive? First question we ask us ranch women are, how many gates are we going through? Yeah, that's the clue right there. How many gates am I going to have to get out and open and struggle? It's kind of a joke around here. And it is time to spend with your Cowboy, traveling down the road and looking at the countryside and whatnot. But the ranching life is a hands-on, hard life. It's a good life. It's rewarding. There's a lot of hard times, because during those spring storms, when you're trying so hard, you've got 200 heifers, first-time calvers, and you're in a blizzard, and you don't have the greatest setup. You have some shelter, but they're popping. They're popping. I remember one spring we were in the middle of big calving like that and had a big storm, and Cowboy pretty much stayed right in the suburban, right out in the corral, and watched those cattle, and he would get out every little while and walk through them, because they were so close to calving. They would stand huddled in the shelter and drop those calves in the mud, in the manure, in the slop. If you weren't there to catch them up and figure out which cow had just dropped that calf, and you had to get it into a smaller pen in the shelter and get it mothered up. And so we had a lot of long nights with cold calves, like I said, and just babysitting those cows and trying your hardest to save their lives. And you still end up losing some of them, and it's very disheartening and it's discouraging at times. But it's a rewarding life. It's a good life to live. You're your own boss. But if you're going to be a rancher too, you've got to be the kind that can take charge and get the job done. You don't sit back and wait for boss man or somebody to tell you this needs to be done, that needs to be done. You need to take charge. You need to do it. You need to be ready. You need that hay stacked in. You need, summers of haying. Cowboy and I have done a lot of haying. He's done a lot more than I have. I would help where I could with the raking, with the hauling it out in the truck, the semi, or the pickup with the trailer. I help feed, like I said. So it's a teamwork. It really is a teamwork. And what we did today was just kind of a playtime, I guess, taking the 17 calves to the sale where we normally take out semi loads. And I guess it's probably hard for us to let go of that life and cut back, but it would be so much easier for both of us because, we're both getting age. We've got some different health issues that it makes it hard. And so we're trying to get it down to where it's not so hard for us. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Cowboy go ahead and buy a few back again later. I don't know. He's got to have something to do too. Um, and that's good, you know. But it is getting harder for all of us. And I just thought we'd take you along today. Let's just see a little bit of what happens. Um, Getting the calves ready. The Cowboy had coaxed them into the corral yesterday so they would be ready and easy to load for us this morning. But it's always setting up panels, getting an alleyway so you can run them down, get them closed up so you can jump them in the trailer, which this morning that job went really well. And I couldn't record or film for you to see that because I was busy helping run them up in the alleyway into the trailer. And so, but it takes teamwork. And I'm glad that most of the calves are gone. I think the rest will go up very soon. And like I said earlier, our cows will be going this weekend. It'll be 22 cows, I believe. And with our Jersey cows, we've got around 30 head total. So that's really going to cut back on our herd on the homestead. We will keep enough of something that we will raise up and fatten and butcher down the road here soon. And like I said, we've got the Jersey cows still. And we'll be calving a few of those out in the spring, or the little crossbred cows that I have. But all in all, it was a good day. We went to the Tractor Supply, got all the chicken grain, found me some good books that I'm going to have to share one of these days. Whenever I go to Tractor Supply or Big R, I like to look through their books. They've got some good ones. This time I got some that are a little bit different than what I've had in the past. So before we left our little town to head to the city, we picked up our mail. Baker's Creek seed catalog came. So that'll be fun to look at. Also, some more cards. I think there were 5 more cards from you folks in the mailbox today, and that is so exciting. I can't tell you how much fun that is. I had no clue that my Facebook page, Prairie Girl Farm, and our YouTube channel would go this direction. We have met so many fine folk, and it's good folk. And you sending us those Christmas cards or Christmas gift is just, it touches the heart, and we both thank you. We appreciate that. So we did that, and when we got to the city, we ate right at the stockyards at the sales barn. They usually have a little restaurant there, and it's mainly cowboys coming in and old-time ranchers, and you might smell some manure or whatever on their feet because we probably had it on ours. But we had our lunch there, and it just brings back old times. We both are the kind of country folk that like to go to the sales yard. Even if we're really not buying, we kind of just like to take the day and go and watch the sales and have our hamburger. You never know. You might find a good deal and come home and be able to, feed it a while, use it, calve it out, butcher it, whatever. So sometimes you find a good deal at the sales too. So that is something Cowboy and I still like to do, and probably will always like to do, even if we're not in the cattle business. So just a little taste of our country life. We're used to feeding cattle every day, all winter long, whether it's small scale, big scale. Take out several bales at a time, spread them out, Make sure the water's going. Make sure it's not froze up. Make sure it's not running over and making a mess. Oh gosh, there's so much. During calving time, there's the pens that you calve them out, and there's mucking out to do. It just brings back all these memories. And that was our life. Still is our life, but on a smaller scale. So I hope you enjoyed following us along and traveling to the sale and dropping our calves off. And we appreciate you following along. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up. If there's some folks out there that you know of that would enjoy following our little channel, we would really appreciate it if you would get them to following us or find our Facebook page, Prairie Girl Farm. We have fun over there. There's lots of good folks over there too. So anyway, folks, I'm going to quit rambling on. I'm going to find a cup of coffee. I did get my chores done already. Cowboy had to go deliver a bale of hay. And our day is about over for now. It's back to um, maybe baking cookies again tomorrow. I'm not sure where our day is going to go. So just a little follow us along on our day on the homestead, going to the city to market. So take care. God bless. We'll chat soon.